Hello, welcome everyone. My name's Kalela Williams. I am Black History Maven, and I'm here with Naisha Tyler of House of Stuyvesant, and she's going to be talking about her home decor business. And so, a couple of questions. First of all, I almost said Naisha Patterson.
I know. I say Naisha Patterson myself.
But you got married recently.
I did. I got married September 19th. So it's an adjustment. I'm so used to saying Naisha Patterson. I am Naisha Patterson. Who I am. But yeah, no, I got married, and so it's getting used to it. So I understand. I totally understand that you were going to say it.
we have those of you who are tuning in, we've known each other for a long time. We'll talk about that in just a bit, but I want to just ask you, can you talk about your business? Talk about home decor. Like, what is it about home decor? And of course, I know all the answers to this because I've known you forever, and I know about you and home decor. Tell me about how that makes you feel and why that is important to you, and why you wanted to start a business based on it.
A little bit of background. I started with organizing. I had a business called Brownstone Closets, and I feel like all of us are given gifts, right? You have your special gifts, with writing, and I feel like we're all given special gifts, and that's been this gift that's been handed to me. I've always loved home decor, from like watching Trading Spaces to now, HGTV and all the shows that they have. I feel like your home is probably where we spend the most time, especially right now. And so it needs to be set up, as a feel-good place, sort of an oasis, your castle, however you want to phrase it. And so it just grew, into the love of it. It grew into design books and understanding design and all of these things, understanding color. And I appreciate, decor, decorating, and having my space look and feel like something, if that makes any sense, because your space will allow you to feel a certain way. If it's cluttered, if it's, neat and tidy, paint colors bring about feeling. So it's just always been with me. And I think it really developed in my younger adult life, and then started to blossom as I got older, of course, and made more money at different jobs so I can afford things.
I'm looking at the background behind you, and it's beautiful.
Background. Background.
And I'm looking at my background, and I'm like, and I know you're probably thinking the same thing. You're like,
no shame.
That's okay. No.
Yeah, it's funny. I had this shelving unit since June, and I was like, okay, we're doing this tonight. Let me get myself together. Let me pull it all together. But these are things collected, or swapped with like my best friend, a couple of pieces. But yeah, I just like my space to look and feel really good. And so it just developed, and I let it go where it's going. And with House of Stuyvesant, it sort of morphed from like this blog where I was showcasing the projects in the home, and then it turned into really loving buying things for the house and wanting to have a place where I could really showcase this style in the brand, which is chic neutrals, with mixed in with some ethnic pieces and things of that nature that will soon come. But yeah, I actually follow a young lady who has a home decor online store, and I was just like, you know what? Something was just tugging at me to do it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And it didn't happen like that. It took some time, but here we are.
And yeah, I think decor is so important, and where we live is so important, because now we're all spending so much more time in our homes than we used to, and with more family members than maybe we used to. I mean, it used to be that I used to be out of the house all the time. And I mean, and now I'm like, I don't go anywhere. I mean, can you talk about just how do you feel about decor, the importance of decor, especially now?
Wow. I think that working from home is different. And, I know a lot of people have had to create a space to work, whether it's their kitchen table, whether it's their island, whether there's a room created to be able to put in a desk and a chair and all of these things. I think a well decorated space, a well organized space, really can enhance productivity. Coming into your home and things are out of place or there's no cohesiveness, it can translate into your life, literally. Disorganization can transfer into your life, literally. I'm not looking at you, KK. I'm not looking at you. But I think that while we are all home, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I remember ordering something from IKEA and, they were back ordered. People are home, they're sitting in the space and they're like, what are we doing? Let's paint, let's decorate. And it feels better. It feels good. You want to throw on your fancy loungewear, pull up in your really nice desk chair to your desk, which has flowers on it, or a vase, or a candle, or even a really nice pencil holder, whatever that may be, to be able to feel more productive and to not feel like you're working, but that it's in an environment that, again, that feels good. I say that a lot. It has to feel good. If it doesn't, I'm not really sure that I feel like if it doesn't feel good, I'm not really sure that whatever you have around you is you. I know I couldn't be in a space that was super glam. I wouldn't feel good. That's not me. So I think that having your space be, like you, will allow you to feel good with anything. You look good. You feel good. Your space looks good. You feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I am learning that more now. I mean, I used to feel like, I mean, I used to feel like, oh, whatever. But I'm really seeing the importance of when things feel cluttered, I feel like I can't think. And it's a new feeling for me.
Well. And we're recording, right? We are recording. So
yeah, we are recording. Unfortunately, I should probably stop right now because I feel like this could be used as blackmail language. But but no, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's something that I'm realizing. Can you talk about the nods to? I mean, why is it? When you started off Brownstone, you had the name Brownstone Closets, and now it's House of Stuyvesant. Can you talk about the nods to your history, to your upbringing?
Sure. Brownstone Closets, again, because I was doing a lot of organizing, residential organizing, came about growing up in Brooklyn. We didn't have closets, and we lived in brownstones almost all my life for the most part. We didn't have closets, so it was just sort of paying homage to those roots of growing up in Brooklyn. And fun fact, I did not come up with that name. My best friend dreamt the name, and we were on the phone one day and she was like, I had a dream that you named your business Brownstone Closets. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, just sleep on it. But I ran with that. And I loved it. It was the first thing that I did and stepped out on. House of Stuyvesant came about not in a dream, but just as me talking out what I wanted to do and what I wanted it to be. And again, I mentioned it was a blog in a blog form. And that may come back on the site as well. But it was important to me, or it is important to me, to shout out to Brooklyn. It is in my blood. And I remember walking through the streets of Brooklyn and looking in people's homes in their brownstones and seeing the decor and seeing, everything that I thought was amazing. And so anything that I do will probably have some, nod to where I grew up. So that's it in a nutshell, I guess. I just, you know what? I'm lying because I had one name. I think it was Naisha Patterson Interiors.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
I think I had like 100 names.
Yeah.
It just didn't stick. But I think this feels right? Going back into how you feel, this feels right. It feels good to me. and you know, hopefully this will stick, and branches of different things that I want to do will come from under this umbrella, House of Stuyvesant umbrella.
Yeah, and I really love that it's paying homage to your roots, but it's also paying homage to a lot of roots. It's paying homage to a collective Black experience in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
you know, you think about the Great Migration, you think about things like that. So I think that it's you, it's the personal, but it's also collective.
Mhm. I always think too, and you hear people say it and it sounds
Mhm.
so cliche, but it is always bigger than you.
Mhm.
And so I think I haven't tapped into that just yet, you know, especially having just launched, but I know that it's there. And so I think as it develops organically, that bigger than me will show itself, where I'll be like, ah, you know, and so, no, you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
So I want to actually, you mentioned, of course, that you've launched, and I actually want to just take a look at the you have a product that, and again, you know, you're starting off small, and that's how we have to do when we start businesses.
Listen.
But you have a product that is really really versatile. It's this garland right here, right?
Mhm.
And I just love the way that it's, you know, like I mentioned, it's very versatile. It's, and you've done these amazing photos, and we can sort of see all the different ways that you can use it. Can you talk about some things that you plan on doing? Can you talk about this product and other products that you
Mhm.
plan to offer or hope to offer in the future?
Sure. First of all, I might have to hire you to do something like a commercial for me. Um, I'm like, wow, this is pretty neat. So backstory on the garland, I saw a garland in a store that I frequent, a craft store actually, and then I saw pieces to make a garland in that same craft store. And you know, I'm one of those send it to everybody that you love, my whole tribe, and I'm like, oh, make it, make it. I won't tell you how many years ago that was. So it was natural that this would be the first product, and I sat on this for a long time. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, I just really wanted to roll that out. And there's other things that I wanted to roll out, but this just made more sense. So the wood bead garland is very versatile. I mean, you can style it so many ways as you see the entryway. You can style it on your dining room table, on your shelf, on your desk. There's so many ways that you can style it. For sure, more products are to come. So the idea behind House of Stuyvesant also, which I don't know that I mentioned in a lot of back and forth about it, was that um, you know, a portion of the products, maybe, you know, 20-30% of the products would be handmade.
Mhm.
And so this was made by me, handcrafted, I like to say also.
Mhm.
So I think that, which is why I love it so much. It's the first, and I was actually something that I pieced, designed, you know, handcrafted and pieced together. So the products to follow will all be along that chic neutral sort of theme, that aesthetic. A lot of natural, a lot of warm tones, trays, decorative items, different vases, picture frames, pillows, like a lot of things that just when you walk into the space that
Mhm.
bring the room together.
Mhm.
You won't get any glitter or glam from House of Stuyvesant. What I noticed in, I actually followed a young lady who talked about her apartment being really bright, and like her therapist mentioned how that could trigger her anxiety. And
Mhm.
so she redecorated her apartment to really warm tones, um,
Mhm.
flashes of golds, different things like that, very natural textures. And it helped with her anxiety. And I've just always been drawn to this, but it makes sense. I think
Mhm.
it helps to lend that coziness, that feeling again, in your space. So
Yeah.
products are coming. Products are coming soon.
Yes, yes, and you know what, this the garland reminds me of it sort of picks back up to my childhood. It reminds me of the macrame that my mom and my aunts used to
Oh.
make, and I
Mhm,
don't know what it is about it, but it
mhm,
reminds me maybe of the macrame beads, and maybe it's the textile pieces that just remind me of that.
mhm.
But I look at this and I think about, you know, I think about my mom and my aunts, and that makes me feel really good. It makes me feel very
Aw,
comforted.
okay. Oh, definitely paying homage to macrame. I've actually done some macrame samples.
Oh.
So they may make an appearance.
I love macrame. I think it's, I mean, I think it's great. And I want to just lastly ask you about this idea of sisterhood, because I met you about 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago, and
Yeah.
you got me a job that opened up a lot of opportunities for me. I mean, if it wasn't for
You
you, I
got you a
would not have
job.
gotten the
You
job.
did it. You did it, not me.
Well, but if it were not for you, like I would not have been considered. Like you took the resume and put it in our boss's face and said, "Hey." So
Read
I mean,
this.
no, it's I mean, I wouldn't have been considered. And so I mean, I just think about this idea of sisterhood, and when
Mhm.
we start something up, what is it? How is it that you feel like you've been supported by a sisterhood
Oh
in
wow.
your business, in life, just anything?
Who are you about to make me cry? Um,
That's
I
the goal.
my sisterhood and my friendships very seriously. And my circle is small. I mean, I think you know
Mhm.
that. My circle is very small. We've talked business and ideas, over the years. And so I think sisterhood is just so important.
Mhm.
Don't I'll take a minute and really just shout out my sister, my tribe. I have amazing people in my life, with my mom, my daughter, my best friend who's been a huge supporter from Brownstone Closets. She probably was my first client, and paid me at a discount, I'm sure, but to organize her home. So, just believing in me. Your circle changes as you grow.
Mhm.
And I think coming to the library, I didn't think I would get, another sister. And I have another sister. I have Autumn. I've got you. I've got women in my life who are just amazing. And it's just so important. They cheer you on. You guys cheer me on. You tell me the truth. My girlfriend in Chicago tells the truth. And I appreciate that. And I think that as we pour into one another, because it can't always be 50-50. I think
Mhm.
sometimes you're pouring into the glass, and I just need it. Sometimes I'm pouring into your glass so I think as long as you're constantly and consistently flowing and pouring into one another, um, there's nothing like it. True sisterhood. I've had to, you know, cut the circle, cut some of the
Mhm.
fat, trim some of the quote unquote drama, if there were any,
Mhm.
but just that vibe, if it was off, to move away from that and really hone in on the people such as yourself who really just believed and are like, duh, you can do this. Go ahead. Like, I got you, whichever way, you need me to have you. So it's really, really important to me. Even my sister-in-law, I mean, she's been like, oh my God, you can make this, you can make that. And I'm like, I can't make everything. Like, relax. Some things I can't make. But that sisterhood is super important to me.
And you've talked about how this relates to being a mother. How this relates to raising a young
Mhm.
woman, and how you're being someone who's in business, being an entrepreneur, relates to how you're seen as a mother, and how you want to set an example for your daughter. And your daughter is grown now, but uh,
Yeah, she
I mean,
thinks
you know.
she thinks she's grown. Let me go back real quick. I think the sisterhood also,
Yeah.
when you reached out to me about doing this, I was like super honored. I think you're amazing and I think you're brilliant, but I think that just doing this, like, I'm like, whatever you need. And I think that sisterhood shows up, has shown up so many times in my life, even outside of business. But I just wanted to mention that. My daughter is 19 and she thinks she's grown, but she ain't. But no, recently she sent her dad and I a text message that she really loves us and she's proud of us for doing what we love to do.
Yeah.
And so it was like the first thing in the morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm telling them, like, I'm crying. And they're like, oh, you're a punk. And I'm like, I don't care, whatever. But it's important to me for me to do what I love, even though I had to, work a 9 to 5 to take care of her.
Mm.
That's what I had to do. But the beauty of it is, eighth grade, she knew that she wanted to go to a high school that supported what she wanted to do. And she did that. And she graduated with her high school diploma, cosmetology license, and that's what she's doing in Brooklyn. So that was important for me, and for her to send that text message is just confirmation that I instilled in her, you can do what you love and be okay and make a living at it. And so, yeah, that's been something I feel like I've drilled in her for a very long time. And I'm super proud of her. She actually shared this on her Instagram page. I'm not sure if she's watching, but she can catch it. But no, I love her. I love you, Pumpkin. But I'm glad that I was able to, and her dad, but set the tone so that she can see that doing what you love is important.
Yeah, because I think it's important that you as her mother, and I think it's great
Yeah.
that obviously I think it's great that she has this support from you and her dad. But I think that seeing you as her mother is going to feel the closest to her, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. No, I think you're absolutely right. In not even so much, you know, having a business, but also to see the highs and lows. That it's not, as my friend D-Share says, shit ain't always cute. Things are hard, things are trying in these times now with shipping and, getting customers their packages in a timely fashion. So yeah, I think that, just having her see those things and me being honest with her that it takes work. So I think you're right, absolutely, coming from her mom.
Yeah, yeah. And you've had the support of your mom too.
Yes, my mom supports any and everything. I can be like, I think I'm gonna open up a White Castle. Okay, I'm gonna come eat there. I love my mother. She's one of those people like, do it, get it, do it. She's just super positive, whatever, go with the flow, figure it out later. But yeah, I like seeing her in my DMs with her little heart eyes if I post something. But yeah, she's always been that way. I could have some of the ugliest art that I did in a ceramics class. She still has it on display in her house. And I'm like, that is hideous, but I love it. It's beautiful. So yeah, shout out to my mom.
And I want to say too that when I first met you, I mean, I met you when I was coming in for an interview. For those of you who don't know us or don't know me, or if you know me, you know her, but you know Naisha. But for those of you who don't, we both worked at the Free Library of Philadelphia for a while, and Naisha was there when I first started. She was the first person who reached out to me to say, "Hey, we're inviting you for an interview, this time, that time, blah blah blah." And when I first came and met you, there's just this energy that you exude and this positivity, and you gave me a little hug, and
I did. I hugged you.
and I felt like
oh
if I don't get this job, I'm gonna email her and be like, hey, can we go get a drink? Because I was moving to a new city, and that
right.
Yeah. And I mean, and I feel like you are such a positive person, and you are so glass half full. I mean, not to say that, we all get our frustrations and we all get our funks and we all get depressed about things or disheartened about this or that. But can you talk about how you keep your energy? I know some of it's natural, some of it's just you, but how is it that you keep your energy no matter, I feel like you do no matter what. I feel like life throws whatever at you and you keep it.
That's a great question. I think as of late, it's been really hard. And you mentioned, our depressions, frustrations. Aurora Sanchez, we've been meeting up on Zoom almost like every day when I wake up early to do it. But she's so full of energy to me. And so I think I vibe off of others. Naturally, I think I am energetic. I think I have my moments, of course. I'm always hype. I don't know why I'm always hype. It's the Sagittarius. That's what it is. We are just balls of energy, optimistic, extrovert, always loud. The Pattersons, my dad's side, is just a loud group of folks. But I pick up off of energy, and I think that Um, I think a lot of it too is from my mom. My mom pretty much tries to be as positive as she can be, but I look at it also like after you get out of your funk, move on.
Mhm.
I'm here. I am alive. I am healthy. Move on. I think I'm just always looking for the better day, the better moment,
Mhm.
especially now as we sift through this crazy time. I've said it to a number of people like, I'm trying to look for the joy in each day, whatever that joy may be. Sometimes it's wine, a lot of wine. Sometimes it's ice cream. Like a lot of times it's just different things, but I feed off of my environment too. So being around really dope people keep me going. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and as we're talking, I'm just looking at the chat, and there's some really amazing women who are chiming in and
Wait,
just
I
saying
can't even see the chat.
okay.
There's
Well,
a chat.
Liz, Fitz,
Liz.
Gerald,
Thank you,
Carrie,
Dan. Aw.
Tahira, my
Oh,
friend
thank
Allie.
you.
So we've got some really, really amazing people who are, and I'm just like, yeah, right back at you, right back at you.
Right.
They're just throwing some positivity our way, and I'm just like, right
Aw,
back at you, right back at you. So,
thank
um,
you.
yeah, and so my last question, I just want to end it out with, why is it important for, so in the Black, I decided to start this because I wanted to talk about
Yes,
Black
I'm
wealth.
loving this,
Yes.
KK. Loving it.
I mean, it's important, right? I mean, to me, it
Yeah.
is. To me, Black wealth is important. I mean, I was reading a study that Black wealth is the same as what it was in 1960. The Black-white wage gap was the same as it was in 1968. That's a problem. I mean, that's been something that's been on my mind almost every day.
Wow.
Yeah, you think about Black wealth, you think about women and lacking in wealth as much as men. So, can you just talk about why is it important for us?
Oh, wow. Mm, 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 mm. Um, to touch back on a previous question, it's important to me for my daughter to see,
Mm.
first and foremost. And I think that 9 to 5s there's nothing wrong with it. We're all out here. We have bills, we have things that we need to do. I experienced some things, a number of jobs, but nothing like having your own. Nothing like having your own. Nothing like being in control of your business, minding your business, feeding into your business, running your business, growing your business, etc. And there's nothing like profiting from something that you've created where you have no limitations. For the most part, on
Mhm.
how much money you can bring. If you work and you get out there, you can bring in the money. So for me, it started to really become I have to do this. And I think I listened to like a podcast or something where they talked about legacy,
Mhm.
and what you want your legacy to be. And it's not even so much like grinding and hustling and like making all of this money, however that be lovely, but it is more about I want to leave a mark. And which is why I was so focused on and taking my time with House of Stuyvesant to really be able to have it be what I wanted it to be. Because it's just really important for me to leave that. And I hope to be doing this for a very long time. But the plan is to phase out of a 9 to 5 and to
Mhm.
grow this brand and to really be able to show those coming, up that you can do this. You can do this. You don't need to work for anybody. And no shade, right? I'm working for somebody currently, no shade. But
Oh
I
my,
think that,
yeah.
Black women, whew, we are a fierce group of individuals. And I am really proud to be a part of it. There's so many Black women that I follow that are killing it in their industries. And it's just really important for me to see them, to cheer them on, and to just be inspired by that. There's so many Black women in my sister circle,
Mhm.
okay, that are doing really great things. I mentioned my friend in Chicago that has a beautiful gift shop. My best friend's growing a brand. There's so many women that I know. My mom has, a brand. So I think that there's so many women that are just like, I can do this. I can have a piece of this for myself. And we just don't get opportunities thrown at us. So we have to make our own opportunities and create our own. And we've been doing this forever. I mean, Madam CJ Walker, we've been doing this forever. Even though technically she stole the recipe. No, yes, no, maybe.
There's some, yeah. I mean, she
made millions.
heavily.
Yeah, she made millions
Yes.
the end result. But we've been doing this for a long time. And so I just plan on, grabbing the torch and just taking it as far as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am so impressed and inspired, and I feel like we build each other up, the two of us, and also just collectively, us as Black women, us as women. I think that we're if a person is intimidated by Black women's excellence, then now's the time to be afraid.
Yeah.
Because
seriously,
yeah,
there's lots going on out there, and nobody is just showing up. Folks are showing up and kicking down doors, kicking down buildings and rebuilding from the ground up. And nobody is asking to sit at anybody's table. We're building tables.
That's right.
And the chairs, and
we're building tables and the chairs. You can come sit at our table, but we're gonna
right.
We're gonna take down yours and build our own.
Right. We're not interested in being a part of anybody else's thing. Or in terms of just sitting there, but collaborating, possibly. But yeah, we're not interested. So this is a time. You're right. It's blazing right now, which is good. So during a pandemic.
I mean, there's a history of thriving when situations are down. So it's a history.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm doing it. Not I'm ready for it.
You are doing it.
I'm doing it.
You are doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop your information so people can get a hold of you. You're on Facebook. You're on Instagram.
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, website houseofstuyvesant.com. Like I said, I received an email. I was telling you earlier that products are shipping. They say the 17th. Who knows? So I'm excited about introducing some new products. And I'm excited about also putting out something that another product that was handcrafted by me. So there's some new stuff that's coming soon. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's always starting something. Putting yourself out there is always nerve-wracking.
Yep.
But
because you'll have somebody be like, that's ugly. And then we're ready to fight. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully we'll have I trust that we will have some more collaborations in the future.
Oh, we will. I've been working on something. Oh, we will. Shout out to Carrie. She's like, what do you think about this idea?
Yes, it was. So yes, we're following up on that, Carrie. Again, thank you all so much for listening. Naisha, thank you so much for being here. I miss you.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I miss you. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.